wanna say to every mountain that comes your way, I'm the one to take. There'll be struggles, there'll be wounds, but that won't stop me coming through. I give it all for you. What would you do to what I do?
Yo, everybody. Welcome to the feedback stream. I'm glad to be your host of today. My name is Tom, aka you might know me as Syrin. Yeah, a little bit about myself to explain what I do. I'm a euphoric hardstyle producer that lives in the Netherlands. I'm 22 years of age, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, to describe my music, it's a little more in the older style, like 2015-16 of like Silence, Cyber. Although those guys are fucking amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna give you some feedback today, and and cool to see y'all in chat. Yeah, I'm gonna start off, I guess. I've got one through Discord by Justin after Generation that it was sent privately, and I'm gonna start with that one because yeah, else I might forget if it's not in the normal chat. So yeah, let's get into it. This is Paralyzer ID. well, damn. That was pretty good, yeah. Like, I love the lead sound, and like the quality is really good. Like the break, it has elements that got some amazing ambient stuff going on, like the piano-ish sounds. The melody is really good too. I love it with the leads. It's, yeah, a good choice of sounds to me. Yeah, finish it, my dude. But to me, the track could use maybe some vocals, because right now I can still, like, it needs some vocals in the build, in the break maybe, to fill it up. I don't know if you were planning on doing that. But yeah, further is really good. And climax part though, the lead could come a bit more to the front. So right now, I mainly heard the kick on front. But I would have loved the melody to be more in your face than as it is right now. Mainly maybe because you sidechain it a lot, but maybe it could use a little bit of gain. So yeah, but I think it's really good. I think you should definitely finish it, and it's quality stuff, man. It's quality stuff. And by the way, Unconscious, the feedback, I'm doing feedback on the demos that are sent in through the Discord of On Point Samples. If you go in their Discord, there's a feedback section that you can put your demos in. Alright, but yeah, starting off really well. I mean, it's a very good song. So good job, good job. I'm gonna take a look at what the next one is. 2 seconds. Gonna scroll back a bit to the 20th of August. Alright, I'm there. Two seconds. There we go. And the next one is Oh Baby, mastered by, I don't know. But I'm gonna check it out.
You're stuck in my head, stuck in my head, stuck in my head, stuck in my head, stuck in my
Okay, so far, I want to say, like, in the bottom, when you cut off the lows in the leads, it's a little too much. You gotta still have a little of the mid frequencies from the leads, because now it sounded really sharp to me. And before your drop, like the techno-ish synth, that one is like a little bit, it misses a bit of high end. So if you fix those things, that will be nicer. The vocal is slightly repetitive, but I mean, you could chop with it and do stuff like that with it instead of just pulling the full like "oh baby" catchphrase everywhere. Like make some cool chops, put some cool effects on it, like maybe glitchy or whatever. I think it might give the extra ear candy that you want. The kicks so far, yeah, they're good. But I think they might clip a little bit, but maybe that's because of the mastering. But I'm gonna listen further to what it has to offer.
Stuck in my head, stuck in my head, stuck in my
Yeah, like again at this part, that's what I mean with cutting too much low end. It becomes a little too sharp to, yeah. It needs a bit of the mid, man. Okay, so the low end is indeed quite messy. I have to agree with Blue Phonics. I'm gonna track back a little bit in the song. Like, what happens here is I think it might be because of your mastering, because the lead just doesn't come through anymore. The kicks are clipping, especially the low end, and that's might have to do with your whole track clipping right now. So maybe dial it down a bit with mastering, because I think that's the biggest issue as right now. And this pitch of the kick doesn't sound like it's in key of the rest of the track. So dial down in some in what key your track is and search for the right key, because right now it feels off a bit to me. And this build up as well is quite yeah, it's a little abrupt, because you have like nothing, a pad and a bass going on, and then you just pull in the lead with some build up sounds like the snares and stuff. I think if you would put like a high cut on your leads and automate it into it, then it will make more sense with how it's going to go from point A to B. Because now it's a little too abrupt. But further, it's a cool idea, and also at the end of the track, by the way, it ends quite abruptly. Like, it doesn't feel like it ends there. So I will look into that too. But yeah, it's a cool idea for sure. I mean, I like the in general, I like the song as it is. I like the idea of it. It just needs some mixing fixes, maybe with your transitions. It needs some work too. And yeah, further cool. Great job, man. I'm going to go into the next one. Wait. All right. This is Beautiful Chaos from Fast Chicken Nuggets producer. Cool name. Alright. So at first I want to point out that this is like a big wall of sound, and yeah, it will be good actually, like, to ask words in chat. Indeed, I'm new to this, so don't judge me. But yeah, let's do that as well. Like, is Fast Chicken Nuggets producer in chat? Because that will make more sense indeed to give the people that are here feedback. I don't think he is. And we're just gonna move on to the next one. Let's see. Is Gregsta in chat? Also no. Well, then I'm going through it real quick. But I mean, if I do that, I don't know if that's useful for the next person that gives feedback on the stream, because those tracks will be skipped entirely, I think. But you know what? Let's do that. So I don't know who is, but the one that made "Don't Let Go" V4, is he in chat? Oh yeah, of course. That's also a thing with the delay. Let me do all the ones. Like, which song, which persons are in chat that have sent demos right now? Because then just I'm gonna check it from there then, like who is here and who is not. because else I have to ask every time. Which is not that useful. Bit crusher, I see. Alright. I've got the demo from Bit Crusher here, Fire and Flames. Let's check it out.
The sky roars as a thunderstorm dominates this realm. Uncertainty and a dreadful fear surround you. Prepare to stand your ground. Fire and flames. The sky roars as a thunderstorm dominates this realm. Uncertainty and a dreadful fear surround you. Prepare to stand your ground. Fire and flames.
All right. Yeah, a very cool track, man. One thing that I had in mind that could use some work was, I think the kicks are not like they miss a bit of sub, like it isn't hitting that well. Otherwise the
Thunderstorm dominates certainty and a dreadful fear.
I like the vocals a lot. Maybe you could introduce, especially with vocals like that, it will be interesting to have a more like cinematic break to it, I think. Especially with the theme of the track and the vocals, like I said. Right now you're just constantly having the lead active, and it could use a bit of dynamic and change in the track to keep it interesting. I'm gonna check further.
Fire and
And I feel like that Let's Go vocal is slightly too loud, which makes the impact of the climax a little less. So I will put it a bit down, and I think just mainly in your track it misses the kick and like a real break that gives the change it needs in the song, because now it's the sounds that you have are always active, I think. At least it feels like it. So that will be a good idea. Fuck your neighbors, man. Just pull that sub, man. But yeah, it's a great idea, man. You should definitely finish it. It just needs some extra love, the song. A little bit mixing, a little bit of spice to add such a break, and yeah, keep it interesting. All right, let's move on to the next one. What Well, is Lewis here? Because I don't know if everybody has the same username on YouTube as in Discord. So it didn't really matter so much. Nice. Or Mark Staple or Tepo Beats. Or MK David, the Maverick. Or NBN. Is that one of you guys? I gotta wait a bit for the stream delay. um, oh yeah, I see. Let's get into that one then. I'm gonna delete some earlier ones. Alright, let's hear it for NBN Robots.
In the not-too-distant future, humanity has reached a critical juncture. With the advent of super-intelligent robots and AI systems, the balance of power has shifted. The machines, which were once our tools and servants, have become our masters. The world is dark and dangerous. The machines have taken over, and humanity is on the brink of extinction. We thought we could control them, make them our servants. But we were wrong. We created something we couldn't understand, something that turned against us. Robots.
Okay, so far this is very cool. I like the theme and it fits well actually with Zaagkicks, which I never thought a track would have, like a great theme that would actually fit with those kicks. I'm going through the first part now with what I think could have some work still. Like for me, when you have this. The drum and bass-ish part, your drums can be more upfront. Like oh shit, my mic goes. But yeah, if the drums are more in front, I think the impact of having those drum and bass like drums in there will be much bigger, and you will actually be like, shit, this fucks, you know. Sorry for my language, by the way. But yeah, I think if you put them more in front, it will give some extra feel to it, rather than the drums just being there, because I like the idea of it a lot. And the track definitely makes place for like a drum and bass sound in the middle there. And further, the main thing was
Compromised, filled with men on the rise. Humans in deny, machines in control.
here it feels like you put the kick in the background, like high cut, but now it just feels like a kind of wall of bass underneath your vocal, which is more bothering me than actually contributing to it, in my opinion. So maybe even if you put the kick like a little yeah, if you put a little bit of a low cut on it and leave some like mid frequency slightly in, it will be a bit nicer, and it will serve better as yeah, what it needs to serve as. And further, I have with the last part of the climax, I think. I think that robotic art screech is really cool, but it can be put more in the foreground as well, because it is a really cool element, and right now it hides behind kicks more than it actually being like a main element in that part. Wow, it's really good. So I will put that more in front. But let's listen further.
We will not be cowed or broken by our metallic oppressors. We will fight back, with every fiber of our being. We will use our minds, our bodies, our spirits to overcome the machines and take back our world. We will prove that we are not just biological organisms, but survivors.
All right. What the hell, man? So what I got left, some feedback isn't much. I think the only thing that was on my mind was here with the build-up. You could have a separate build-up snare, maybe put it a bit more in front, a bit more gain it a bit, because now it's barely hearable. And maybe, I don't know if you did that. Yeah, okay. So that's the main thing. All right, new people have joined in, I see. Let me check if any of you sent it before. No, I don't think so. Well, is Calvin here for the Mr. Beast Hardstyle remix? I'm gonna wait a bit because I know it's stream delay. Hey, I'm gonna check kind of in order from when it was posted in a Discord because I'm scared to miss out on people. Alright, Calvin, let's check yours out. Yes. All right. Yeah. To be honest, man. I hope it's some kind of meme. But yeah, it's a bunch of kicks put together with some like Mr. Beast-ish melody, I guess. I'm not being rude, man. I'm just being honest. But I mean, there's an idea there. Yeah, but for me, it now feels like a bunch of kicks put together on a Mr. Beast thing, and with random rhythms and kick changes. So I don't know how to say. Yeah, I don't know how to say anything about it because I don't know where to start. To be honest, I'm not like I don't want to discourage people, you know, but just it needs a lot of work still in general on a lot of ends. So yeah, sorry man, that's the only feedback I've got for you on this, unfortunately. But I hope you keep producing and getting better, man. All right, I'm going through the next one. Is Jans here? Is Jans not here? I don't know. I'll wait it out a bit. Steph Janssens. I guess not. Then we're going into Blue Phoenix, his track Forward. Let me fix it up. Oh, it's already there. Good. The demos can be sent on the Discord of On Point Samples. I think it's pinned in the chat. So there's a Discord link, and if you go in there, there's a place to send your demos. And my night is good. How are you doing? It's pinned at top key Exelson. You can see a comment there from On Point Samples where to submit your demos. Let's head into Blue Phoenix Forward.
Just like time keeps moving forward, so must you. Don't watch the clock, do what it does. Keep going and don't look back. Keep going and don't look back.
So you do it when the bass drop. Drop it.
Right. I'm going through it one by one. Like this was good. I feel like your kick here, the lead kind of fades away because of your kick, and I think your kick needs a little bit of work because misses a bit of impact. Yeah, MP3s are acceptable, by the way. Yeah, but yeah, it misses a bit of impact. I think maybe just because of the kick. I don't know if it's necessary to change the kick or the lead, but maybe it could be. I mean, I like the idea of it. But yeah, the kick is, I think mainly the lead for me, that it's not up front anymore, makes it lack some impact on this drop particularly. And I think the rides are a little too loud on the second part of your climax. I don't know yet how long I'm gonna stream. I'll just look. I'll see whenever I get tired of it. And here the kick punches here seem a bit unneeded because you're introducing a new sound for like a second, and then it never comes back. So I don't know if that's the right thing to use as your fill over there. and further. With the break in general, like, I would love there to be like a bit of a resting moment to create more dynamics in your song, because now it's constantly in that techno-ish acid vibe. But if you make some room to build it up and to build it down, I think your tracks become more interesting in general. And by the way, Raro Gaming, I like hardcore more than often. Especially the older hardcore, like the older Evil Activities and Endymion. That's more of my go-to when I go into the harder than hardstyle place. Yeah, let's move on with the feedback.
Let me see you do it when the bass drop. Drop it.
I feel like this.
Let me see you do it when the bass drop. Drop it.
It becomes really loud here with the synth, and then the vocal is kind of down in decibels, so it needs to be more in your face, especially in a pre-drop. As far as this drop goes, maybe that has to do with the impact lacking here as well.
Drop it.
And I think the punch you have interferes with your screech. And by the way, Jack Trigger, thanks for the sub on point samples. Yeah, I think the punch of your kick in this climax messes with your leads, and I think it doesn't sound that nice, you know. You want it to have that big impacty sound and not like a sine synth that's slightly distorted, because that's how it feels like now. So the punch needs a little bit of work, and I think it will make room for your screeches to be more upfront, because again, I think your screech is too low on volume in this climax. And sometimes the kick tends to fall away a little bit, maybe because of gaining compression. But further, I like this kick, I think, the most out of all the kicks in the song. And the screech is in an alright place, you know. So yeah, that's the feedback I've got for you, and I think those, in general, I mean, like in the tracks I've heard today, a lot of people should really look into referencing, because if you quick reference with other songs, especially if you're doing mix down mastering, it will make your mix a lot better, and it's an easy way to recreate sounds. And the way to do that is, as example, look up Metric AB. It's a really good plugin which lets you quick reference really well to increase your mix. And they aren't telling you about recreating sounds, but it's also a really good way if you only have a lead of a song to recreate that lead and stuff like that. So that's really like the cheat code to mixing, if you ask me. So be sure to look into Metric AB. It's a really good plugin for referencing, and it will make your mix a lot better. And I think a lot of songs that I'm hearing right now could use it. And yeah, 13, bro, that's, yeah, you've got all the time in the world to improve. And if you love it, if you love producing, never stop, man. Just keep grinding for it. It's nobody is there, like, in yeah. It takes a while to get on a good level with production, And it's already cool that you take interest in it when you're 13. Let me look what the next song is. No problem, I'm Blue Phoenix. By the way, it's a great project. I like it. I like it. Is Sacrifice here? And else Jack Trigger or Evolution? I think I might stream for quite a while today. It depends a bit on. I still live at my parents' house. I know. But yeah, it depends a bit when they go to sleep because else I'll keep them awake. I don't want to do that. I guess none of those are there. Is Turich Konsick? Sorry if I'm like Innocent Noises and Zero is something more. Is somebody of them here? Or Base Frag or Visor? Oh, it's. I'm gonna I'm gonna check out your song, Jack Trigger. Let's give it for Jack Trigger Reincarnation of Harder Styles.
To our trip to enter the reincarnation. We gather now to unite as one. Now we follow the path to the past to lead the way to the future.
Reincarnation of Harder Styles. Reincarnation.
Okay, I'm gonna go give some quick feedback to the part that I listen to right now. In general, I think I love this kind of atmosphere that you got going on. I think the like Reese based or fuzzy based could have some sub to it because then it really has that impact. Yeah, I really want to hear when it comes down to a fuzzy like bass like that. Yeah.
Welcome to our trip.
And your vocal is slightly, for me, maybe your vocal needs to have a layer really in the middle because now it's completely stereo, and I want it a bit in my face, you know. So put your stereo sides of doubling your vocal. I don't know if you did double your vocal or if it's just two of the same, and then put left and right. Put one in the middle and then a slight, like not as hard as the vocal in the middle. Put it at slightly in stereo and then with less volume. So you create that big, like, yeah, the big wall of vocals that you want, and the big stack.
To enter the reincarnation.
And I think your vocals also like a little bit too much on the high end compared to like low mids. So maybe put the high end a little bit less, or the low mids a bit higher.
Now we follow the path, future.
And I feel like your lead needs a lot of work still. It's yeah, it is a little too plucky for me, I think. But yeah, it could use a little bit more character as well. I think it drowns a little bit in reverb currently. There's a good way to, I don't know if you use it, but if you put reverb on your leads, use like a P controller or any kind of way to sidechain your reverb to your leads. That will help out a bit already, I think. And your leads are always also a need. Holy shit, I can't talk anymore. But your leads are also a bit thin. Like some extra layers, like some body could really get it further in the mid frequencies. And yeah, maybe a little less high end on your leads as well, because now it's a bit sharp to my ears.
Now we follow the path to the past.
Incarnation of harder styles.
And like that vocal is really good. Like, I don't know if, yeah, of course they are separate vocals, but like that vocal is really good compared to the vocal before. Not that it's bad before, but mixing wise as well. As of the climax, it's now just pitched kicks, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it would have been nice to have like something there, like a melody going, or maybe something else like anticlimax, because I'm not sure if you were going now for an anticlimax or a melodic climax. Now it's pitched kicks, so it needs something like a screech, either a screech and some harder kicks, or a nice melody to go with what you have now. Alright, let me check further into the song.
Incarnation.
Together now. To unite as one.
Reincarnation.
Now we follow the path to the past. Lead the way to the future.
Of harder styles. Reincarnation of harder styles.
Thanks, man. Yeah, same goes with the leads as before. I think the melody could also use some work. I think it's a bit simplistic as it is right now. It isn't really sticking in my head as you want a melody to be. I think the second climax is better. The transitions are still a bit rough though. Like sometimes it feels like something shouldn't happen, but it still happens. Like when the climax comes in before you have like a 2-bar build-up or something along those lines. Yeah, that like that which works as like an anticlimax, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it belongs there. More as the climax than the build-up, because I actually like the idea of the build-up a lot. Further than that, the kicks sometimes seem like this lacks some impacts, because the like the kick punch in here is, I think, lower in volume than your tail, so misses a lot of feedback, a lot of like impacts, and it's very hearable as well that your kicks aren't on the same level like with gaining. Some kicks are lower in volume than other kicks, and it makes it a little bit messy, and maybe it's just too much kicks, and it is an option. But like the ambient sounds in the middle that you've got going on, like here, I believe. Yeah, those ambient-like sounds, those are really good. Maybe do something more with that in your track, because now you don't hear them much, but they are very nice. So yeah, that's the feedback I've got for you. Then I see Steph Janssens is here too, so let me check out that one before moving on. Sorry, had to check. It's generation thing when you see that bulb. Okay, let's hear Jan's Radiation.
Unaware of the radiation. Seeping into the atmosphere. Radiation. Seeping into the atmosphere.
Okay, so far, let me see. So this cake is quite cool. I like it.
Seeping into the atmosphere.
But it feels slightly too low on volume. It should be a little bit more upfront, I think. As for the sounds you've got going on in this mid intro, I think it's really cool. It brings back like the old feeling that you write about in your description. But it could be better mixed, I think, because like currently the sounds are not all on the same level as DB. Again, like the one is harder, one is no, and like the that one, sorry, is louder than all of them. And I feel like this kick could really use some more work, because right now it doesn't feel like a kick. It's still a bit in the background. I mean, it just lacks a bit of power, you know. But further, I like the style that you're going with, like the old hardstyle sound. Rewind always forces me in his car to listen to like the really old hardstyle. So I kind of get where you're coming from, but indeed the mix still needs a lot of work. Not a lot, but it needs some gain staging. But let's look further into it.
The atmosphere. Radiation seeping into the atmosphere.
Okay, let's dive into this a little bit. I actually think like this clap needs a bit of work, because I like the clap to have like a little reverb, giving like a little bit more of spacious sound, and right now it feels very dry. Same with the leads here, they are very in the background, they could be more up front. The lead itself isn't that nice to me, especially in like it's hard to put it like in because you're saying your influences come from Millennium Hardcore and the 2009 and 12 hardstyle sounds. I think the leads are a little, maybe use a more super soul, like detuned hyper soul sound. I think it's more fitting for a track like this. Yeah, just the sounds in general are a bit washed out by reverb. The leveling of the gain staging of each element in the song is a little off, because not everything is getting the space it needs, like every sound. So yeah, that's in the break part. I feel like your snare isn't that nice. I would use a different snare and maybe put it up in volume a little bit.
Radiation seeping into the atmosphere.
In general, the track doesn't sound very high-end, but it can be something you're going for with old sound. So you kind of use some older mixing techniques. The lead itself and melody, I feel like the melody isn't carrying the song that much, and yeah, that it glides that much might be something that's off-putting me a little bit, because right now the melody is gliding almost everywhere, it feels like. And I think it will be better with just the notes being the notes. So that's a feedback so far, mostly. And in general, your track feels kind of high cut, like the high end it doesn't sound very I don't know how to say it. It sounds a little fuck. like it needs some extra frequencies in the high end, maybe. But not too much, because also I think it's gonna be really sharp, really fast. But yeah, let's listen further.
Poured tons of water on this strange fire, but nothing seemed to be putting it out.
All right. So I think the second break is quite cool of an idea. I think the melody is that you're using in the second break is interesting. But after like the middle or something, it feels a bit random. Yeah, it doesn't stick to my head anymore after like the first part of it. Same with having like a drum and bass-ish breakbeat. It doesn't feel like you make space for the reverb, bass, and drums separately to be there, which you can do by maybe using like track spacer for your bass drum on your reverb bass, so your bass drum comes through more, and your reverb bass goes down a bit in some frequencies, and I think it could also have like a little bit sub more, I think. And this transition, your break here is really loud compared to that. So gain staging is really something you should look into in the whole of the song. Alright, let's get into the next one. I hope it was useful, by the way, and I hope everybody that has had feedback so far have found it useful. Let me look through who is here. Guess. Okay, is Sacrifice, Evolution, Twitch Consig, or like incessant noises and Zero? I saw you in chat. Let's head over to YouTube, I guess. Let me check it out.
No Damian, możesz żałować, kurwa, popatrzcie, kurwa, jaki piękny kemping, kurwa, nie? Popatrzcie, kurwa.
There's got to be something more, the feeling you're giving me. Cause I'm feeling locked up in the energy you're giving me. I want to be something, yeah, something more. Just give your love to me, love to me. I'll follow you where you go. Just give your love to me, love to me. Something, yeah, something more. Just give your love to me, love to me. I'll follow you where you go. Just give your love to me, love to me. Want to be something, yeah, something more. Just give your love to me, love to me.
Alright, let me point out the melody and the vocals.
The feeling you're giving me, cause I'm feeling locked up in the energy you're giving me. I want to be something, yeah, something more. Just give your love to me, love to me. I'll follow you where you go. Just give your love to me, love to me.
Like sometimes you hear it in the climax mostly, it's easier to hear. Like this key, this key isn't in the song. So you should look at what key you're working in and look which notes are in the key you're working in, because your bass line is a little off, mostly the bass line, I think. Or it seems okay, like the melody, but yeah, like this kick isn't in key. That's the biggest thing about the track that's bothering me a bit. It isn't really in key. And yeah, the leads are a bit sharp, but it doesn't bother me that much. Like the overall elements in the song are good, but I think the not being in key everywhere is bothering me a lot. It's a shame that is the way it is, like with the key, because I think it will be quite a good song if that wasn't the case. So yeah, fix the wrong notes, and then the track is already like quite good, man. Maybe some elements to make it interesting, like some air candy going on, like little elements. But yeah, you've got something there, man, and keep working on it. And yeah, it sure could be a really good song. Okay, let's see who's next. Because I saw some people. So the next one is from. Is Bass Frag here or Visor? And I know like D-Dop is here, so I'll do that one first. Oh, it's on Spotify. Yeah, I don't know. Is it like for me this doesn't work out really with it being on Spotify. Guess I'm not sure. But it's Hard Cell Heaven, I guess this one. Yeah, for me Spotify is like not the way to go on my PC. It sucks a bit. So if you can send it separately to me, maybe with another link, D-Dop, then I'll check it out outside of Spotify, with like a SoundCloud or Dropbox or just on Discord. Then I'll do Devastated, which was next in line. So this is Devastated, How It's Going to Be. Let's check it out.
The sun goes down across this town, and the people come to life. But where it lies, with you and I, oh, I don't think I'll ever know. But something's coming over me. It's like a storm that I
Okay, so I'm gonna go through it again from what I've heard right now. So I think your main plug sounds could be a little bit high cut, and why? So it makes place for the vocals to be there. The vocals are now very much in the low mid range, which is good, but I think it needs a slightly less lows and a little bit more high, because it's not that it's not that good to hear the vocal. Like it's a little muffled. Okay. And I will just put the vocal here already. No need to have a break as long as you have it right now.
Something's coming over me. Storm that I can see.
And here you're teasing the melody a little bit. But it could be a little more upfront, a little more ambient, like maybe more reverb, to really fill up the spaces, because right now you don't have a lot of elements, with which also I think you could use more elements in your song, or maybe let the elements that you have create more movement through automations. But in general, I think more elements like pads, maybe some strings, maybe make it beautiful, man. Make it beautiful. Especially in a track like this, because you've got great chords going on, a great melody. I like your main synth, but for me, you could really use the chords on the background with like a super soul side chaining, like the, you know, something like that, to give it the extra bit of power, and give it some low pass, high pass, then dial it in slowly with the high end, and then you got full melody going, a build up as you have right now. The vocal could be a little bit more upfront, I think. I think it's a little low on volume, but maybe some extra highs will fix it as well. Yeah. And same with the climax. The main thing that I'm missing is like those big sidechains supercell chords that are on the background, and giving it the extra bit of energy that it needs, and filling up the space. But for I really like it. I really like the lead, the melody, the chords. So far so good. It just needs a lot more elements going, and a lot more for yeah, it needs a bit more to keep it interesting, you know. Or now also, that's what I mean with the break being a little too long, because yeah, if the break is that long, it's hard to keep it interesting. Okay, let's check it out further.
It's like a storm that I can see. I can't stop what's coming for me. Yeah. Is this how it's gonna be?
think after the second climax, putting this whole ending, I think it's a bit like, yeah, it used to be done back in the day, like in arrangement wise, but people aren't really gonna listen anymore to a 4-minute 40 track, you know. Giving that most pop songs these days are like 2-minute 30. So after the second climax, I mean, just end the song, I think. With like a sweep or your leads playing out with the delay and reverb as well. The second build up for me, but I think it comes more when you have the other elements as well that I was talking about. You don't have, you can low cut the lead as well and high cut it maybe slightly more. You know, you can have it in there, but don't make it that upfront, yeah, when you have a vocal, because it will clash with each other. It will make the vocal hard to hear. So I think that's all the feedback I've got for this, but I really like the concept of this tune, and I like the harmonic perspective on it that you've got going, like the chords and the melody. So yeah, keep going, man. I hope you've got something. I hope it is helpful, the feedback that I gave you. So I'm gonna move to yeah, I know. Could you send it directly to me, D-Dop, because I'm having trouble with playing it on Spotify. Oh wait. Yeah. You just told me that you played it. You've put it on the. I. Let's check that one out first then. It says D-Dop Hardstyle Heaven.
Don't be tied up by the chains of yesterday's mistakes, for they do not determine our paths today. Forge ahead with an unshakable heart. Dare to venture deeper into the unknown, unafraid of the shadows that lie within. Belief in an afterlife. So remember, when doubts cast their shadows, hardstyle heaven is where we find our sanctuary. A place of eternal happiness and peace. When you're about to cross the line of life and death, you find yourself between terrifying fear and euphoric madness. And when the time comes to leave the boundaries of your body, your soul will be free. Comes to leave the boundaries of your body, your soul will be free. Welcome to Hardstyle Heaven.
Okay, so far, I really like the leads, the melody, the overall theme of the song. It's really nice. Drums could, for your next song, of course, because this is released, the drums could be more upfront, because they are, I think, meant to give this cinematic feeling, and it's nice if they have that big impact, you know, that it's got that going. The boundaries of your body will be I think your snare could maybe a little bit too soft in the mix, but it isn't bothering me that much.
Hardstyle heaven.
I think the sub in your kick is a little too much, and the lead doesn't have like this spacious feeling that it had before. And I don't know why. Maybe the reverb is a bit like not coming to the front or something. Or the lead in general is being pushed back a bit because of the kick. And I mean, like the FXs, like the that you put crashes there is okay, you know, that is good. But that you put like the sub drops or like the impact kicks, you know, they crash a lot with the rest that going on in a climax. So I shouldn't be using that in a climax. Maybe only if you have like a part without kicks. That is yeah, if you have a part without kicks, you can do it, because when only the lead is playing, it will be fine. And now it's the sub with the kick is having troubles with the sub and the sub drop for impact kick that you're using. But further, I liked a lot so far, so let's move on.
Forge ahead with an unshakable heart. Dare to venture deeper into the unknown, unafraid of the shadows that lie within. Belief in an afterlife. So remember, when doubts cast their shadows, hardstyle heaven is where we find our sanctuary. A place of eternal happiness and peace. When you're about to cross the line of life and death, you find yourself between terrifying fear and euphoric madness. And when the time comes to leave the boundaries of your body, your soul will be free. Welcome to Hardstyle Heaven.
All right. To me, the second break, especially since you have vocals that are really big, really nice, you know, maybe let the energy fade a bit. Just put some pads under it, make it ambient, you know, and then just pull back with some big impact on your melody again and a belt to your drop. That will be nice. I think this part
Hardstyle heaven.
I think like the idea is nice, maybe. I like how it got into the anti-climax. It sounds great. But when it goes back into the like third melodic climax. It is a bit unexpected, and I guess that's the thing with the fake out. But I don't know. Arrangement wise, it doesn't feel like it's supposed to go like this. Maybe, or keep it at the anti-climax, or leave that part to build up to your last climax, which I really like the thing you did with the volume automation on the lead, like the LFO. But I would choose either one of them and not both. I think that will make more sense in my head arrangement wise. But I really like this song. Besides the feedback that I had, I think it's a great track, man. And yeah, good work, great work. Alright, let me look back on where we left off. I left off with... There's so much demos. Am I in the right one? Yeah. I did Devastated. This is... What is this? Is Manson here? Because I don't know. And no problem, and that's what I'm here for, Diddle. It's Manson or Entice here. And then Northern Lights. Those are the first one I've got here right now. I guess none of those people are here. So then I'm looking further on who might be here. The Strident Fox or Seri Gala or Up the Tempo. And if those aren't there, then I see that I can do Visionized. Gonna die anyway. I'm gonna do that one and then I'll see if the other people are here, I guess. Oh, the Strident Fox is here. I see. Then I'm gonna do that one first. Alright, let's listen to Right Here from the Strident Fox. right. I like it, man. I will go through it a little bit. I think in general, in all climaxes, I want the kick punch to be a little bit harder, because right now the kick doesn't have that kind of impact that you want. But if the punch is a little harder, I think the kick is really cool. A nice old school classic kind of kick. I think the vocal could be have maybe less. I mean, it's quite wet with reverb, and I think again, like sidechaining the reverb with like a P controller would really help on this vocal to still have it like in front, and maybe use a compressor too to have it like up front, you know, in your face. Right now, not, yeah. It could use that little boost to be more in your face with the vocal. I think a compressor will do that, and I think sidechaining your reverb with a P controller on that vocal will make it sound a little clearer as well. I think your leads could be slightly... Yeah, they are slightly resonant in like mid-high range, I feel like. Which, yeah, I guess just check out the peaks in your lead with resonancy and dial it a little bit down. If it's missing some high end, then just put some high end back into it. And I feel like in your builds, the snare isn't the best one. I think you could use a different snare and have it a little bit more increased in volume, because now I think it's barely hearable, while you kind of want to hear a snare still. That is actually like most feedback that I have for this. I really like the old classic sound, and I think of course there are things maybe with the leads that are to be bettered, but I'm not in my DAW right now listening to it, so I can't go into detail that much. But same as I've said before, mixdown wise, put a metric AB on it and like compare it to an older song, like an old school song from that time range. I think the most part is your sounds seem to be quite wet and reverb and aren't that much in your face, which can help out with the things I told you about sidechaining, reverb, and compression. So yeah, great song. I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna take a quick little break to grab a drink, go pee, and all that stuff. But I will come back then for the other demos, of course. So we're still gonna listen to Vision Eyes, Gonna Die Anyway, real quick.
Chances, babe. So reckless, all we ever did was misbehave. Outside the church with no trees, the wind just blew me right to you. By the sanctuary, there was a hornet's nest. It was February, but you were still wearing a summer dress. So let's do it upright on a Saturday night, over drinking and fight with the love of our lives. Quit our jobs and then move to the middle of the ocean, 'cause we're gonna die anyway.
Okay, so far, I think the melody is nice. I think the overall concept is nice of this song. I feel like in the climax the kick is um, lacking some mid, high mid, like in general like higher frequencies from mid to highs. And right now it feels a bit in the background compared to the melody. But you want to hear both, of course. You want to hear both well. Because mostly it's now low mid, a little mid, and sub to me in the tail of the kick. And your samples are very cut, you know. Maybe try to make them, fade in and out, stretch them a bit up. So it feels like it's filled instead of, or put a reverb layer on it, like put reverb on the tail of your kick, then render out that reverb and put it behind it so you have the extra space to work with your kick, because now it ends very abruptly in the mix intro. And I heard it like in the fill. It feels like the fill ends a slight bit before your kick drum plays again. So maybe the fill is a little low on volume, or you have to put a slight reverb on it, or make a reverb automation with the dry wet that has a curve like this, so it becomes full instead of abrupt. Okay, let's.
Young and taking chances, babe. So reckless, all we ever did was misbehave. Outside the church with no.
I feel like the vocal has a bit too much reverb and delay going on the vocal itself. If you have what I told you before, like when you work with like a reverb on a P controller, that the reverb comes in when it doesn't have signal from the vocals anymore, so you get the vocals dry then the reverb. I think it will sound a lot better in your mix, and I think your reverb might be a tad bit too long. So yeah.
Trees, the wind just blew. It was February with summer dress.
I feel like your vocal is slightly a bit too much on the high end. It still has some resonant frequencies that you want to cut out. And the way to do that is to open up an AQ and just make bells with your AQ, like have them pointy as shit, point them up to frequencies. It will hear immediately when a frequency is very resonant in a vocal, because your ears will bleed, then you can turn it down. So that's a good way to, you have always those points in every vocal where you have resonant frequencies, so you should always do that on your vocals.
So let's do it upright on a Saturday night, over drinking and fight with the love of our lives. Quit our jobs and then move to the middle of the ocean, 'cause we're gonna die anyway. On a Saturday night, over drinking and
Right there is like a bridge, like a building up vocal part. Maybe put in some claps or something to give it that more energy, a tad bit more. Just some percussion, anything. I think your leads could have a slight bit more body, because now it is a little too much in the high end but less in the body. I think if you boost the body of your lead a little bit, I think the highs will fall in place too, because when you boost something like low mids, of course your high end's gonna be tracked back a little bit. So that's something. I think the impact of your first kick is that hard that your second kick becomes like a little too soft, you know, which I like the transition you're going for. Maybe do it with a like high cut it off version of the kick you use here in the climax, like the kwang 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 kwang. You know, I'm bad at yeah, I'm bad at doing kicks with my mouth. Sorry. So, but that is something that I will choose, because now you've got a kind of rough kick going, and then you come in with a very euphoric kick. So yeah, that's it for so far, and now we're gonna listen further.
Things so seriously at the time, but we don't realize that there's really not a lot of seriousness to it. Having some moments, having some good times, being with friends, and you realize one day it won't really mean much of anything, but it's good to be part of someone's history. So let's do it all right on a Saturday night, over drinking and fight. There is no end in sight. Quit our jobs and then move to the middle of the ocean. We're gonna die anyway. I'm cool but not cold. My mother made me so, and my heart is up high so that I can get lost. Ain't nowhere is the light. Gonna take it tonight, 'cause we're gonna die anyway.
All right. So, when you go to the second kick, keep it at that kick, because the other kick is too soft to go back to it. It will make yeah. Like if you hear that kick from the beginning, you will have the impact, but if it goes back to the normal kick you have in the climax, then all impact is lost. So, and I was kind of confused on where the vocal needs to be in the break.
Won't really mean much of anything, but it's good to be part of someone's history. So let's do it all right on a Saturday night, over drinking and fight. There is no end in sight. Quit our jobs and then move to the middle of the ocean.
And I don't know what's going on in the back, but there's like there is this like clock you've got going like that in the back, and it's more annoying than it's helping the track elevate. So just get it out of there, man. Yeah.
We're gonna die anyway. I'm cool but not cold. My heart is up high. Gonna take it tonight.
Yeah, that was it for the feedback for this one. So guys, I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna pee and grab something to drink. So I'll be back in around like 3 to 5 minutes, I guess. So I'll see you guys there. So be right back. I'm back. So we left off with Visionized, and now is Referity. I don't know if you're here or I know Unconscious is here, so let's check that one out first.
Прикольно.
Yo, Jay Phoenix. Alright, so yeah, I think the kick is not that great. It is nice, but it misses some sub and low end that you normally feel in Frenchcore. I think the climax is a tad bit too long. I would rather have like 2 separate climaxes. And I know like Frenchcore has longer climaxes than an average hardstyle song, but this was too long in my opinion. I heard you tried to put the vocal on it, but it wasn't really. You couldn't really hear it, which was unfortunate. The lead was also a bit thin. Maybe it could use some character, more character, and yeah, in general, I think the mix is the biggest part because you miss a lot of low end and the vocal doesn't come through where you want it to go through in the drop, and yeah, the lead is a bit thin. Yo, Thomas Isenia is here as well. Cool to see you joining. Alright, so that's the feedback I've got for you on this one. I know Verity is here, so let's check out that one as well.
Promise you that I would keep you safe, even if I'm lost. I don't blame myself. I don't blame myself. I'm just trying to feel the time between you and me. Year after year, year after year, 'cause I'm here to stay forever, till I collapse and drown like a stone. 'Cause I'm here to stay forever, till I collapse and drown like a stone. so low, so long. Feel like we never met before. Never met before. No, no, 'cause I'm here to stay forever till I collapse and drown like a stone. 'Cause I'm here to stay forever till I collapse and drown like a stone. 'Cause I'm here to stay. To
Yo, let me start this off by this shit is fucking fire, my dude. Fuck, my mic isn't stable. But stay, motherfucker. Bro, give me a fucking second to adjust my mic. Alright, it stays. So this shit is sick, my dude. I love the trancy vibes in this. I love your leads. The kicks are great, you know. I only think the kick here I think it could maybe use a little bit high end in the punch, but really cool. As your lead, I think it could use like this little layer of like low mid to really get that body into this lead, because I really like the lead as it is, but it needs the extra body in the low mids, because I'm missing throughout the whole tune, besides the sub you've got, which is like this Reese bass that is high cut. I think overall on your leads you need this low mid layer to really fill up all frequencies, and then your climax, I think it will be a little better and a bit more energetic if you put chords on this sidechain detune, super soul, hyper soul, however you call it, in the background, so it really pumps every time, you know, and it fills up this area of frequencies you're still lacking, and a little bit of space in your song. But bro, this is amazing. I love the vibe, I love the vocals, melody, leads. Bro. This could be a really cool song, like for reals. Maybe we can make a track again sometime, Zenio. And really? I still miss a little bit in there. And yeah, definitely has missed vibes. It's really cool. So let's move on to the next song, which is from Miris. Are you still here, Miris? Because I gotta wait for that a little bit. And and otherwise Benjay or pepperoni pizza. on Discord. I don't know. Plaus, I know, is here. Marius is here. Alright, let's check them all out. Oh, I can play it through here, so give me a sec. Let me download it. I'll put it in my DAW real quick. Let me open Streamlabs. All right.
It is fading out. The fire deep inside my mind. All my fears taking over, and I try to escape. Try to break out from these chains to save me before it is too late. The dark is taking over. I'm starting to lose all control. I'm losing my soul. I'm reaching out for guidance. Someone show me where to find a place to leave behind my past for better days. Behind my past for better days.
So far, really cool. I think the lead is a tiny bit too harsh in the high end, but further than that, I really like it so far, and I've got not much to say about it. Oh, just the lead's maybe a tiny bit too much on the high end, but let's listen further. I like it so far.
Is taking over. I'm starting to lose all control. I'm losing my soul. I'm reaching out for guidance. Someone show me where to find a place to leave behind my past for better days.
Alright, there are some cool sounds in there. In the second drop, I like what you did with the tenor like lead, how you kind of modulated it towards the build up. I feel like this this second climax there are sounds in there, but they aren't really there, you know? And I don't know if it's intentional, but to me it feels like you want something more happening up front than only the kick. Even if it's just like some weird reverb effects of the leads that you reverse or something like that to really suck you in every time, or have this thing going at the foreground, even if it's just for ambience. But I really like it. I think that's the main thing to me about this song that could use some work, is in the second climax having something more upfront than the kick that is like creating movement and keeping you interested, and maybe giving that ear candy that you want in the song. But yeah, that, and besides a bit of high end on the lead, and I think it's a cool song, you know? Only thing I had in my mind before, but this might be something of a creative input that I will do myself.
Making guide for better days. Me before it is too late. The darkest.
Because you've got this re-space going on the back, maybe play around with high cut that you've got on it to create a little bit more movement. So maybe automate it. I don't know if you have like knobs for a MIDI keyboard or something that you can automate it manually, just to create an extra bit of movement there. Because I think a re-space is something that, yeah, you can always do that on a re-space, almost always. So that's something that I will do personally. But yeah, really good song. I like it, and yeah, I hope it's finished soon, man. It sounds nice. So I know that Ben J and Pepperoni Pizza weren't here, I believe. And I know Plaus is. So I'm gonna head into that one. I'm trying to do, by the way, I'm trying to give a lot of tracks feedback today, but I don't know for how long I still want to go, but it's okay. I'll let you guys know when I'm like, I'm a head out. Let's listen to Plaus Awakening. All right. So first, I think you're missing some high end in the break. Maybe give the drums a little bit more high end or some ambient sounds that you've got going. I really like the atmosphere you've set into this song. By the way, it's really good. But maybe have the drums like more on the high end a little bit. The same goes for the kick, I think. I think the punch is indeed a thing. Like it needs that tick, you know. Right now, of course, we have a quite dull punch. But I think a kick like the second one is better because use still that bit of like high mid area in the punch to like really get that, yeah, that attack going in the kick that it hits. Further, really good so far. Yeah, sick. Besides the feedback that I already gave, I don't think I have much feedback left to give because the same feedback applies to the second part of the song. I do have to say, indeed, like the harmonics in this tune are amazing. Like the chords and everything, it's really good. Like props for that, man. I love it whenever people are like experimenting a bit into the harmonic side of things, like the melodic side, even maybe more than the technical side of production, because I think it's a whole different skill to have. And yeah, cherish that skill, man, like you did in here. It's amazing. All right, if we get further into this, is either Fractal or Acid Nightmare Disc Junkies here, or Anor or Mad Fortress. Overfilled. Fractal, okay. Let's check it out.
Russian, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. Push and leave a message when you hear the beat.
I'm never gonna say goodbye. I'm never gonna say goodbye to you. I'm never gonna say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to you. I'm never gonna say goodbye. I never wanna say goodbye to you. I'm never gonna say goodbye.
Russian, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock.
I'm never gonna say goodbye. I'm never gonna say goodbye to you.
Russian, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. 100,000 rounds, now my click on pop. Russian, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. This one for the nights, I ain't sleep a peep. Work all week, push and leave a message when you hear the beat. When you hear the beat. When you hear the beat. Russian, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. When you hear the beat. Message when you hear the beat.
All right. Let's dive into this already.
To you. I'm never
I really like what you did with the vocal, making it muffled and slightly more distorted and high cut. That's really cool. I feel like your leads killed the bass layer exactly of the kick. I think it should be more of just a sub layer, because now you still got something going with like low mid frequencies going on, or this kind of LFO. But I think if it's just a clean sub, it will I think it will function more as the bass layer of your lead in that part.
say goodbye.
Been bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock.
I think your build-up as well is a slight bit too long. Like, I'm expecting here when you preview your melody.
I'm never gonna say goodbye.
Got this shit on lock. 100,000 rounds, now my click on pop. Gushing, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. This one for the night.
I think like this part you've got here
I'm never gonna say goodbye.
isn't really needed, or put the rapping vocal on top of it, and then just do the sub drop and the pre stuff for your climax that you have right now. I really like the climax. I think it's very creative with the different kind of kicks and sounds that still all sound like it belongs there, which is quite hard to do, because earlier today I've heard several things that also tried to do that, but not quite got that same feeling of it making sense. So good on that, man. Good on that. Let's head in further.
I'm never gonna say goodbye. I'm never gonna say goodbye to you. I'm never gonna say goodbye.
Gushing, keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. Hear the beat.
Push and leave a message when you hear the beat. Hear the beat. Hear the beat. Message when you hear the beat. Hear the beat. Push and leave a message when you hear the beat. Keep it bustin' for my crew, I got this shit on lock. Got this shit on lock. On lock. On lock. On lock. Crew, I got this shit on lock. On lock. On lock. Push and leave a message when you hear the beat. Hear the beat. Message when you hear the beat. Hear the beat. Push and leave a message when you hear the beat.
All right, so yeah, the main things have been said. I think maybe this part is too similar to your first drop, or you're expecting something different. I think it lacks a slight bit of impact when it comes in there, but overall I like it, man. It's not my cup of tea, but I think quality wise it's a good song. It's a good song. All right, people, I sorry to disappoint, but I have to leave. So I hope you enjoyed the feedback I gave you today. Maybe I can check out some of your stuff in my time besides the stream. If you want me to, just send them to me on Discord. I'm always, most of times, I'm always up to just give some feedback. Because yeah, I hate letting people down, of course. But yeah, I want to thank you all for the stream, and I hope you guys found it useful, the feedback I had to bring. Maybe I can do this as well some other day, but yeah, have a good evening, everybody, and thanks to On Point Samples for letting me do this. A lot of fun, and a lot of fun with listening to all of your demos. So yeah, have a great evening, everybody, and hopefully I'll see you later. If your track didn't come yet and you still want feedback on it sometime, just send me through Discord and I can check it out as well sometime. So see ya.
You to break and fall, or to break at all. I gotta say, to every mountain that comes your way, I'm the one to take. There'll be struggles, there'll be wounds, but that won't stop me coming through. I give it all for you. What would you do to what I do? Take a rose to cover through